flash, so I can flash Q that. And I should be able to EQ this guy right now too. Yeah, right? So you can see now we're just getting really jacked off our abilities. That's a triple kill. Wow. Okay. Lolers, this is the gameplay beginners for dummies, whatever you want to call it, Ezreal edition. We're going to be talking about how you can pick this champ up and play him in your games at a very basic level, but still enjoy some success, even if you're not a one-trick pony or an Ezreal main. So we've got him in the mid lane this game. We're against a Yone. It's going to depend on your matchup and the type of style that you want to play in terms of which runes you're going to pick up with Ezreal. In the end, I mean, like, if you're good, you're good. It's not going to matter so much, especially in low-level play. It's just kind of going to help maximize your lane phase a little bit more. So in this case, I picked up Grasp of the Undying just so I can try and poke down this melee ranged Yone a little bit, and also get some healing and some health back from that. In terms of first item, I'm going to pick up a tear and a couple of potions. I prefer picking up tear just for me personally when I play Ezreal, because I play him a little bit more passively and more oriented on hitting the wave, especially in matchups where I don't think I'm going to be able to trade extended with champions. Another popular rune on him would be Lethal Tempo, or something like Conquer if you want to continuing to kind of engage or stay in the trade with enemy champs a little bit longer. So picking up the Q first, this is our main ability that we want to be maxing out in the game. It's going to give us the long range poke that Ezreal's known for. You can use it to last hit minions or champs and poke them down. And essentially all I'm going to be looking to do in this lane is if he steps up to hit minions, I'm going to try and poke him like so. Or if there's an opportunity for proc my grasp on him like that, I'm just going to try and whittle this guy down. So I'm going to try and be annoying like a mosquito when you play Ezreal. That's essentially what you want to be doing. So you can see I'm just procking those grasp procs on him. I'm staying at a very safe distance, using my Q to last hit minions when needed. And then just trying to be annoying, right? Like, just whittle this guy down. You want to make sure you use your advantage as Ezreal, which is the range advantage and the poke advantage. When this guy gets to level 3, we might have to play a little bit safer, but you can see here now that I don't have minions blocking me, I can go for that poke on him, and he's already going to be at about 75% health right now, so that's pretty good. So key with Ezreal's poke is if you actually don't auto attack the wave and you just let them keep pushing into you, you're never going to be able to hit them with Qs because they're going to always have minions in the way blocking you. So here we just want to try and see if we can maybe get some poke off with our E. We couldn't do it that time again because the E prioritizes whatever's closest to your landing location. So keep that in mind, okay? Now when he's on a turret like this, especially if they're a melee champ, you can use your auto attacks to poke effectively. Alright? Qs work as well, especially if they're not standing behind minions. So that always works. So key to just playing Ezreal in the kind of early lane phase right now is we need to make sure we're auto attacking to push waves and keep pressure on so we can hit our grasp on this guy, and then also we're using our E defensively. You can see for the most part of this lane I'm going to try and start using my E defensively only. Okay, I don't want to engage on a Yone, especially because they have a Vi jungle, so that's something that I don't want to avoid, or sorry, I want to avoid. I do not want to open myself up to a Vi gank and then die. As Ezreal, especially as a mana stacking champ through tier and the mana immune that we're going to build eventually, you need to make sure you stay on the map and keep farming and using those abilities so that you can get that mana stacked up. So he's doing a good job of not letting us push him in too effectively. I've essentially been auto-attacking non-stop on the wave, but he's doing a good job too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look to poke this guy out a little bit more with autos. Again, we're not doing anything too crazy, just when he walks up we're going to try and land some autos and proc our grasp a little bit more now, because we understand he's kind of playing more wave focused as well. So if he does that, we're just going to make him pay a little bit of a price for doing that. You can see here another way you can land your Qs on champs is if you walk up ahead of the wave, okay? So if that style works better for you as well, you can walk up in front of the wave and just kind of play a little bit more aggressive like so, okay? We're still focusing on making sure we get as many last hits as we can. We want to make sure we get that gold. As general rule for ADCs, the more gold you have, the stronger you're going to be, so you need to make sure you're prioritizing getting those last hits when you can. And Q is really, really good for getting those last hits. Okay, so you can see here we've pushed the wave up. We still have E, so now I'm going to get a bit aggressive on this guy. I'm still just going to poke him down here. I'm okay right now. Now I'm going to E out to make sure I don't catch too much of his damage. He came in on us there and like he lost a lot of health for it. So this is a great point now when you have them on the ropes too and you don't really have a lot of mana. Focus on using your Q and your autos to push the wave in as fast as possible so you can get a really good back time. Okay, so we're going to just start to fade away right now, and we're just going to start our recall. Okay, he should have a little bit of trouble getting that recall off himself, which means we'll come back to lane with more items and more health. So two items you can rush. You can rush the Divine Surrender, or you can do the Mana Immune rush. I personally like to go this route here. It's just personal preference. I don't find I have the Mana Immune stacked up as early as I'd like most of the time, so I just like getting that Divine Sunder a little bit earlier in the game than letting the Mana Immune stack up. Now you can see here I'm running Teleport instead of Heal or Exhaust, and it's just a little bit more flexibility for me to come back to the lane when I want to off like an early cheater recall like that, and essentially keep the pressure up and make sure I'm maximizing my gold farm. So lane's going good right now. We really haven't lost any big trades. We haven't been ganked by Vi because our spacing has been pretty good and we're doing a good job getting last hits. So everything's going well right now. Where we're going to start to be able to open it up a little bit more is kind of in skirmishes or in later team fights when we can poke with our items at a safe distance and deal a lot of damage. As Ezreal, you should probably in your games be close to the top of the damage charts, but also average very few deaths per game. If you're dying a lot with Ezreal, that means you're not playing him properly in terms of your spacing, and you're just not on the map enough, right? Your main ability is the poke, that's your strength, so make sure you're maximizing that. Now he did use his E, so I'm a little bit more confident to step up, but my E is down, so if Vi's in the area and he ults me, I'm going to die. So I'm going to play a little bit passive right now until my E comes back up. That still means I can stay within range to poke if he steps up, but I just want to make sure I'm waiting for my E to come back up before I get too aggressive and get back into his face. So again here, I just want to get out. I don't want to take any more damage than I have to. It's just not something that you want to be doing with Ezreal. Proccing your grasp and poking when it's safe. Don't get too rambunctious and think that you can win every single trade because you're Ezreal. It's almost like a Yasuo syndrome where you think you can outplay everybody in the world. You can outplay situations when they're advantageous to you, right? So just don't push your limits too much. What I'm playing for right now, especially because this Yone is playing pretty passive and he's just letting me stack off, is I'm playing for the mid game when I think I'm going to be able to do some more damage in team fights or poke people off once I build my first item. So we're just playing very safe, maximizing those last hits, and if he lets us, we'll push in. He's missing right now, so is Vi. There's no dragon up and Rift's not up yet, so I suspect they might be near this Scuttle Crab. So I'm going to just walk up now and ward. We haven't really warded anywhere yet just because we're doing so much talking on the lane phase, but it's always a good idea, especially if you want to start playing more aggressive on your champ, to ward a side of the jungle and then play towards that side. So we're going to get our grass stacked up here, and then maybe we'll auto-attack this guy a little bit. I don't want to eat too much damage now because if he ults us and he lands it, and he is running Ignite, we are at risk of dying. So again, this is a perfect time right now. We're going to pop one of our potions, but we're also going to look to, on this cannon wave, push this in as fast as possible. So you're going to see now I'm going to just start spamming my Q. I'm not going to stop auto-attacking anything, and I'm just going to try and push this in. We have our ultimate up, so I could use my ultimate to push this in even faster. I'm not going to use it yet because we're doing a pretty good job of pushing this in as is. So that's good for me. He's going to have to deal with that extra cannon there. I'm just going to back now, and I have another 1,300 to spend, so that's going to give me another good chunk of items here. So we'll build into the Kindle Gem next. I want to maximize some of that cooldown reduction and also health so that if he does engage on us, I'm not going to die super quick. So just getting the Kindle Gem and some Ruby Crystals is going to be good for us right now. So we're just coming up on the 10-minute mark right now. We're doing pretty good in terms of CS numbers. You can see we're leading the entire game in CS. It's not the best CS, and especially if you're backing on lane, you're going to miss some minions like this from time to time. But as long as you're maximizing it and you find that you're not like lagging behind other people in the game, that means you're going to be stronger than them in terms of items. So that's good. So now there's a fight breaking up top lane. Looks like we could use our ult if we wanted to try and pick up a kill up there, but it looks like they disengaged. So I'm just going to keep my eye on the top side of the map and play towards the bottom side here in case Vi and Yone kind of surprise me. There's nothing for me to do mid, especially if I get ganked from the top, so I'm going to just kind of fade towards the bot lane here. Dragon's going to be coming up soon, and also I might be able to help these guys get plates. They did kill the enemy bot lane, so I feel comfortable just coming up here now and pushing this wave in again. I don't know where Yone is. Looks like they're ganking top. So here I'm just going to throw my ult out, right? It's going to be a global ult, so it's going to go across the entire map. Hit a little bit, not too much. It was going to be more for if she was able to survive a little bit of that gank, maybe it would have helped her get a kill or at least something, right? So Yone's playing an extremely roam-heavy game right now, which is great for us. That means we can push a little bit more for free and also pick up some of these last hits. Now, just make sure that you don't get caught in the trap of over-roaming with your enemy laner, especially if you haven't pushed in the wave. If you push in the wave, then you can start to roam and follow if you want. But really your priority is still pushing in waves and trying to poke. Alright, once we get into the mid game, then we can get into team fights more. But there's still 5 plates on that turret. We're still early lane phase. I still don't even have a full item. So just play safe, right? Get your gold, maximize your gold through CS. Okay, so a couple people are starting to fade towards the dragon now. We have this here. I'm going to use the W just to try and disengage somebody here. I don't think this is going to work now. We're just going to keep walking away and hitting our Qs if possible. Right, we're a poke-heavy champ, so just make sure you're using your Qs. We're going to have to use our E right now to disengage this. Kind of sucks our Olaf died so early there, so there's nothing really else for us to do on that dragon fight, unfortunately. We're just going to have to lose that first drag. Just play within your means as Ezreal. You can see right now I'm not doing anything crazy. One of the big takeaways you guys should have, especially if you're learning Ezreal, is just try and stay alive and get good at landing your Qs, even if they're not like kill shot Qs on champions. Just get good at landing them and staying alive. So he's going to have to deal with that wave again, a cannon wave. I have another 900 gold. And I'm at half health, half mana, so I'll just back and buy a Phage and pick up a pair of boots right now. And then we'll just use our E to get back to lane a little bit quicker in this case. So we're still stacking up that tier. We're at about 70% right now, which is great. Top lane is losing pretty hard, 0-3, so not the greatest start for her. But, I mean, they're all kind of a little bit squishy champs, so if we build into our items effectively, there's no reason why we still can't win this game. So I'm looking bot lane now just to see if there's anything I want to ult down there. I don't really see a huge fight breaking out, so I'm going to save my R for now. And I'm just going to push this wave with my Q and my autos as fast as possible, saving my E to disengage. Might be able to pick up a couple plates here. That'll be huge for us if we can get 2 plates worth of gold. Just can't get it, unfortunately. Oh, that sucked. I'm gonna have to flash here. I don't even know if we'll win. I don't know if we'll survive this. Oh, just barely survived. We have to watch out for a Pantheon ult right now. Good, so I mean, we caught them. He should be able to kill both of them here, it looks like. He just backed off. That's fine. We have TP, so we can come back to lane pretty fast here without paying a big price. Okay, so we got the Divine Surrender. That is huge. It's going to be a massive item for us, especially in this game. They're pushing bot out right now. I don't know if Caitlyn's AFK or not. No, she's back. Okay, so we'll head back towards mid lane. The other great aspect of playing Ezreal is the flexibility across the lanes that you can play, especially in lower elos if you're good at poking people and spacing and just playing safe and building up your items. It's a very good champ for that. You can see our Q now is starting to deal a good amount of damage, and the cooldown is low enough that I can weave it in basically on every single turret shot. So that's huge for us. We're going to really kind of start to spike in the mid game here. I know our team's been having a tough time so far in the game, though. We're going to be pretty beastie champ in a second here, especially when we finish off our man immune. Things are going to get pretty interesting. So top lane, there could be a good gank opportunity right now up there. I might have to stay just to keep this turret alive, unfortunately, because there's 2 people in this lane here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this. They're pushing up bot pretty well, though, so they should be able to pick up bot. Again, biggest thing I'm scared of is just a Yone ult into a Vi ult right now. It's just not something that we can dodge, probably. You can see our Q there deals about 15% of his health now. So again, just kind of playing safe with our E. Using our Q when we can to poke this guy out. And we'll just kind of hang around here now and see if we can poke him out with Qs. There you go, nice little chunks, right? Like eventually if this guy keeps getting those, he's going to be in kill shot range, and we can even use our E to go in aggressively. So if you wanted to, like this, you could use your E aggressively. I wouldn't recommend doing that too often. You can see even though I have the full first item, it's really not going to deal a huge amount of damage, and I don't think it's worth, especially early game, doing that and opening yourself up to getting ganked. But what we can do now, again, because we've been pushing non-stop, and we're running a rune set that lets us knock down these turrets a bit faster, you can really try and prioritize that plate gold and getting that turret down. Once we do that, it's going to open up a little bit more of the game for us and we can start to roam around. Huge fight going on bot. I'm just going to throw an R preemptively here. We'll see if we catch anybody with it. Ah, we caught it. Whoa, that was actually a massive amount of damage that we dealt to that Lucian, which let our Caitlyn finish him off. So, I mean, we're going to get this mid turret, it looks like, right now. Okay, or not. We're going to have to E away from the Pantheon. I didn't E towards my turret. Even though the turret's there, it was safer to E up and away. And now they're both going to be in that lane there. You can see Pantheon still looking for me. So I'm just roaming up to the top here. I might push that wave out, but he's following pretty aggressively. So I'm just going to loop around and head back to mid and try and hold that turret from Yone. This guy's really following me. I'm going to E preemptively here because I don't want to get caught by one of his W's. And we're just going to have to, it looks like, recall here because this guy's really looking for us. Okay, no, we can go back now. Nice, Camille. Come on, Camille. Come on, Camille. There you go. Get back in the game. Nice. She's alive, too. Perfect. So, guys, just don't, like, give up too early in your games. I know some games, especially with some of your teammates, it's going to look pretty grim. All is not lost, especially when you're playing Ezreal. You can just play super safe and poke super far range. So here, we should be able to pick up this kill. No problem. We're just going to follow here. I'm going to E over the wall this way because I want to just get away from that rumble. These guys are still fighting though, so if we can land a few shots, that's going to be great. We still do have our ultimate. This guy is really aggressive. Just trying to get away from him. You can see here, I'm going to land my Qs as much as possible so I can keep E-ing away. Wow, she came in on that? I mean, we'll get her, but they both kind of use a lot of stuff to get us there. It's not the worst. It's fine. If people want to ult in on us like that and flash in, it's going to be up to them. Let's just try and get the kills. We did a good job there of queuing away from the rumble so we could reduce the cooldown of our E to get back, right? Okay, that's actually pretty good. We can build a full Boots of Lucidity right now. Our cooldown reduction is actually huge. We're already at 60 at this point in the game, so 17 minutes we're pretty much almost at 40% cooldown reduction. Dragon fight's going on here, so as soon as I spawn, I'm going to try and ult towards somebody and pick up a kill if I can. Either this Yone on her. So we'll do it to this Yone. Maybe I can finish him off. I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, just missed him. Just have to throw those out sometimes. I'm going to run towards mid here. It looks like we're going to lose that dragon again anyway because the Olaf is dead and we don't have the smite. So we'll just try and pick up as much of this farm as possible here. The Q should probably deal a lot of damage to this guy. I need to E back to my turret here because if he caught me with something there, that wouldn't have been good. The Vi's roaming around in our top jungle too, so I could help this here as well, but there's a lot of gold to be had on this cannon wave here. Just going to start fading towards it here. It looks like we might be able to help this out here. Oh, that sucks for the ultimate. Can't really do anything here. Just going to try and throw as many Qs as we have and poke. This guy's crazy. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't know how Camille died to him so much. The guy's just inting him whenever he can. It's amazing. Just put a ward there, make sure that nobody's here. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, if the ult caught him there too. If that Caitlyn and my ult hit him there, that would have been potentially a kill. He's super low though, so he's going to have to leave. I hate sharing farm when people come to my lane. This is something you guys need to just make sure you watch out for again. Because we're ADC and we're going to be using most of the last hits on CS to get our gold, you want to make sure you're not sharing too much farm. So we'll try and spike off this here. Ooh, okay, we're going to stay a little bit here. We got a Lucian roam around the jungle for no reason. I just tried to E closer towards that Lucian there to see if I could get a cheeky kill steal. But yeah, like in terms of what we were saying about going to different lanes, this would apply to every champ. Make sure you don't split too much farm with other laners on your team by just grouping mid like this. You want to make sure you're maximizing your CS intake. We're at 150 right now, which should still be the highest in the game. So just make sure you're kind of maximizing that CS intake. This is a very bad fight to choose to engage on. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to win fights now. He's going to try and ult this, I know for sure. We're going to ult this right now. Oh, unfortunate. Might get ulted here. Okay, that's cool. Killed a couple of them. Some of our team members are still having a little bit of trouble in team fights. I thought we were going to win that one just based on how that started, but some of the targeting was a little bit lackluster. We were focusing some of the different champs instead of everybody focusing down one. But it's not bad. This is a good point to recall here. Just staying safe, right? Like we're 3-1-4. We have a pretty good score line right now, and we are dealing a good amount of damage for still farming this much, right? We're picking up our items. We have basically our full core build, our 3 main items at the 20-minute mark, which is really, really good for any champ that you're playing. That's a good kind of check mark to be at this point of the game. After your core items, you can build kind of pretty much whatever you want as Ezreal. We're going to build a Ravenous Hydra here just for some extra wave clear because our team doesn't have the greatest wave clear in the world. It'll also help us with some AoE damage. We have ult here. We can use it to try and pick off this Vi. Let's see if we can get her. Unfortunate. So that's great. I mean, we're starting to win these fights. Our poke is starting to come through a little bit more. We haven't really landed any big ults, unfortunately, so our kill line could be even better. But we're doing a good job so far. Like, we're starting to come back. I need to recall to hold this top wave here. It doesn't look like anyone else is going to handle that, and I don't want Rumble to get 2 free turrets. So we're just going to head back here. Sona's back with me. I don't know if we'll be able to save this one, but we should be able to at least pick up some good farm here and hold something. Where they spawn that. Great, perfect. So these guys are all heading top for whatever reason now. I'm going to head towards the mid lane. Again, I don't really want to share farm. It really sucks that Olaf's going to steal all this farm from me right now. Hopefully we can at least get the cannon. Yes, perfect. And we'll stop this rift. But right now we're sitting on 8-1 KDA, which is really, really nice. This guy's going to come out of his ult. We're just keeping our space in here to ult here. We'll see if we can catch somebody with that. Nobody, unfortunately. But they should be able to pick that up, and a dragon's coming up right now. So our priority is just to hold this here, and then we'll join the team for dragon. Okay, we got that down. I'm going to head towards here. I know Vi's in here somewhere, but I have my E still, so I can just hug the wall and escape if I need to. I should come down and help these guys with the dragon. Hopefully Olaf doesn't die before the dragon. There you go. So you can see our Q damage right now. Huge Q damage. We're really helping with these team fights. We landed a couple W's there as well. And your W can be not used on the dragon. I thought it could be. So just keep that in mind, I guess. Pick up the drag. So that's a huge win for us. Rumble's hanging around over here. We might be able to catch him. I'm pretty sure we're stronger than him right now. He's got 10 kills though, so I'm sure his items are pretty powerful. So instead, let's just head up towards the mid lane here and pick up the rest of that farm. Health-wise with Ezreal, you'll also notice that we are sitting above 2,000 health. Now that has to do with not only some of the items that we've been building, but also the fact that we're running Grasp. So that's going to help our health bar throughout the game the more times we use it, and just make us a little bit beefier so we don't get one-shot so quick. But yeah, this is funny, right? Because like everybody on our team earlier was calling to like surrender, F this game, but yeah, like early game is very different from mid game, very different from late game. Generally, in a lot of these low elo games, what you're going to find is one big team fight could decide the entire game, especially near the end. They could have Dragon Soul, they could have Baron, but if they all die at the wrong time and their death timers are like a minute long, it just kind of throws the whole game. So no matter what's happening in the game, try and focus, especially as Ezreal, mid lane, top lane, bottom lane, whatever you're playing, try and focus on getting that CS, keeping your gold intake high, and then when the time comes, you'll be powerful enough to hopefully swing the game back into your favor. So here, it looks like Camille's got some attention up there. I'm going to throw the ult again. This might not kill anybody. It was just kind of a Hail Mary ult in case she was going to be kind of close in that situation. Don't be afraid to use it, like it's on a minute cooldown, and every time you use your Q it gets reduced by another 1.5 seconds, right? So you should have this up essentially every 30 seconds about. So just, if there's a chance that you can help win a big fight or turn the game with a big ult, don't be afraid to fire it out here. We're going to E away preemptively because I know Rumble's been using his ult very aggressively this game, and I do not want to catch an ult from him and then get engaged on. So our E's up now again so we can get a bit more aggressive. These guys could be doing Baron. I have a ward. It looks like they are. Just going to try and... he should have been dead from my auto attack there. These guys are not going to be able to finish this Baron. See here, our Q kind of just really stopped them. We're going to ult this right now. Oh, ult is just a little bit off. I have flash, so I can flash Q that. And I should be able to EQ this guy right now, too. Yeah, right? So you can see now we're just getting really jacked off our abilities. That's a triple kill. It's just, you keep that gold income high, you get your items, and it's just easy sailing after that with Ezreal. You can play so safe. You can see we've played so safe this entire game. We're 6-1 and 8, and I'm not even like an ADC main. I'm not an Ezreal main. We're playing him supposedly in a role that you're not supposed to play him in, right? We do have double buffs here, and there's a Lucian. He's 6 and 7, so he's no slouch, but I think we can be aggressive here. You can see I used my Q there on the bush just to check if he was in it. You can do that as well, especially later in the game when it's on such a short cooldown. You want to make sure you use that to face check to make sure you're not going to die because you don't have a ward. So here he is here. He's dead, right? It's just, we have so much damage right now. We're just proccing off so much damage. And I used my E there aggressively because I knew the death timers of the other guys were still so big that they weren't going to be close. You can just kind of get more aggressive with your E. Now we have 3,800 gold here, so we're going to back instead of continuing to push. That's enough for our Hydra. And what we can pick up as well is, in this case, in this game, the Death Stance, just to make sure we don't get bursted out too fast from anyone on their team. But we're playing so safe to begin with that it really shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to TP bot here because I want to keep the pressure up on the opposite side of the map with the Baron buff so that our team can really have a good time pushing top. And the Ravenous should help me push now really, really fast, right? So we should be able to get at least a couple turrets off of this push. Okay, so this is a problem. I do not have ult, so I need to make sure I use my Divine Surrender here. Right, there we go, perfect. So I just tried to kite him out. I went into the bush there to kite out to make sure I dropped a little bit of his auto attacks there. And also just trying to spam my Q. You have to make sure with Ezreal, especially knowing your Q reduces your cooldown of all your other abilities, you have to stay calm and just try and focus on hitting those Qs, okay? Don't get too nervous and think, oh man, somebody's on me, I'm dead, right? Just keep hitting those Qs, do what you can. You're not always going to live. But you can see here, we're too powerful right now, right? Like, we can probably 1v1 anyone on their team, even at melee range. So here I'm just queuing away again. I'm queuing as I back up. Hopefully she saved us. Yes! Yes! Sona, very nicely done. Perfect by Sona there. We got definitely lucky, but I mean, again, it has everything to do with the fact that we played this game very safe early on and just making sure we get our items through gold. Now, Rumble Ult's the one that we need to watch out for, so all we're going to try and do is poke from a safe distance here if he lets us. I'm just trying to land Qs from really far away. Can probably land an ult on somebody here. Take down a little bit more. But we'll go get this dragon right now. Looks like the team should actually get it, so I'm going to stay here just a safe distance and keep these minions buffed up. Just keep these guys off the dragon. I could get Pantheon ulted, so I want to stay near a wall so I can E over the wall, right? That's the most effective way to use your E to disengage. Use it over walls. Don't just use it in the middle of a lane like this, because people can still catch up to you and kill you. We'll grab this turret up here. I'm just placing some wards to make sure that we're safe, because this is the next objective that we're going to be pushing. Should be pretty good. Again, W on turrets just helps you kill them a little bit faster. I don't know where this Pantheon's going. We'll still die if he engages on us here because the Vi and Lucian are following up. So I actually want to just run as fast as I can here. I'm not staying to fight him because of this Vi. Okay, I'm just going to ult preemptively to get these health bars down low if I can. Should be good. I'm going to just help these guys here. Kill that guy off. That should be dead. And then we'll just push in this lane here. We already have mid lane pushing in, so there's not too much we can do without our teleport up right now. We'll just push this in here. But guys, huge game, right? 12-1-8 with Ezreal, like, as just playing basic lane phase. So hopefully this gives you guys a good idea of if you just play solid early game and get your items and you wait for that mid-game fiesta, which most games turn into, that's where you really want to have your big impact. Don't blow your load early trying to like win the game in the first 5-10 minutes. Even if you usually, you know, go off against whoever you're playing, it's not going to guarantee you that win because it's a team game. A lot of situations are developed in the mid-game. That's kind of what determines if it's going to be a win or a loss. So you want to make sure you're powerful enough when you have your items for that mid-game. So here we're starting to run out of mana. I have an ult. I might just blow an ult one time to see if we can chunk somebody out really low here. But we have another 3,600 gold and all inhibs are down. We really just want to play pretty safe here. I have TP up again, so I can always come back to this. We'll just kind of hang out here just because everybody else is right now. See if we can poke anybody down with the Q. I'm going to use my ult probably preemptively here in a second just to see if we can chunk these guys down and try and end this game here. So there's a good amount of guys bot we can probably catch now. Yeah, looks like we're going to be able to catch these guys here. That's fine. We're just going to E back again, playing really safe with that E. Jeez, damage, guys. Very important to focus those early game creep scores and just finish off the game like this. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video and you enjoy the same type of success playing Ezreal. I'll catch you guys in the next one.